What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, please. Y'all see it right here. Y'all see it right here. Definitely wild. Before we get into everything, though, I definitely say that one thing about it, it is not looking so good. Not only for the left, I should say, but for this individual right here. This is Jimmy Kimmel. Says the FCC is preparing to challenge the licenses of ABC affiliates following Jimmy Kimmel calling First Lady Melania Trump an expectant widow. Says the review will begin as early as this afternoon. Kimmel seemed spooked last night over this, going on defense and making up the excuse for his rhetoric. Then again, things ain't looking so good. Check it out right here.
We've got some breaking news on the fight between the Trump administration and Jimmy Kimmel. The FCC is preparing to challenge the licenses of ABC affiliate stations. And a source tells CNN the process will begin as early as this afternoon. The licenses in question are not up for renewal for years, but the FCC says it can review them earlier. So far, ABC has stuck by Jimmy Kimmel after President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump demanded he be fired over a joke he told last week about Melania having, quote, a glow like an expectant widow. Here's how Kimmel defended himself last night.
Obviously was a joke about their age difference and the look of joy we see on her face every time they're together. It was a very light roast joke about the fact that he's almost 80 and she's younger than I am. It was not, by any stretch of the definition, a call to assassination, and they know that. I agree that hateful and violent rhetoric is something we should reject. I do, and I think a great place to start to dial that back would be to have a conversation with your husband about it.
Ridiculous. I'll tell you that. Definitely ridiculous. And me personally, I don't see how they think this. I don't see how they point the finger. That's what I don't get. I don't see how they continue to point the finger when they're doing all these things, regardless. And I feel like one thing about it, and I've said it before. I truly said it before, and I say it again. My thing is that I truly understand of like being a comedian about something, because I've even said myself that there are a lot of people that obviously, in a way, I should say, there are a lot of people that take stuff too serious. They take stuff too serious, and it being 2026. A lot of people have gone soft for a lot of things. Meaning by soft, there's a lot of things that was said and, done, back then. But taking it this far, especially considering the things that's been happening over the years with President Trump and his family, especially within Charlie Kirk, this is something that you definitely don't do. Me personally. And it's truly sickening of him even doing this. Truly. Says First Lady Melania Trump. Says dog walks to Jimmy Kimmel, lies to him as a coward, and demanding ABC fire him after he joked about President Trump being obviously the skit that he said. I can't say certain stuff on here, but check it out right here. Fox News.
First Lady Melania Trump apparently calling on ABC to fire Jimmy Kimmel. This appears to be in response to a segment that Kimmel aired days before the White House Correspondents' Dinner. In that segment, Kimmel said the First Lady had the glow of a, quote, expectant widow. And now we have this response. The First Lady writing on X the following, quote, Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family is not comedy. His words are corrosive and deepens the political sickness within America. It is time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community, end quote. For the second time now in the past 2 weeks, the First Lady taking a public stand. A few weeks back, she made a statement asserting that the rumors about Jeffrey Epstein and connections to her were baseless. And now we have this response to Jimmy Kimmel.
And one thing about it is that she ought to. She definitely ought to, obviously President Trump, Melania Trump. These are things that I truly feel like they need to, apply and don't let off, because this isn't the first time that it has happened. Not only, when it comes down to Jimmy Kimmel, but if y'all didn't watch my recent video, The View as well, it's truly sickening. And I know that it can be tiring even seeing stuff like this and dealing with stuff like this. As President Trump calls for Disney and ABC to immediately fire Jimmy Kimmel following his expectant widow joke. And it reads here, it says, while Jimmy Kimmel, who is in no way funny as tested by his terrible television ratings, made a statement on his show that is really shocking. He showed a fake video of First Lady Melania and our son, Barron, like they were actually sitting in the studio listening to him speak, which they weren't and never would be. He then stated, our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow. A day later, a lunatic tried to enter the ballroom of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, loaded up with a shotgun, handgun, and many knives. He was there for a very obvious and sinister reason. I appreciate so many people are insisted by Kimmel's despicable call to violence and normally would not be responsive to anything that he said, but this is something far beyond the pale. Jimmy Kimmel should be immediately fired by Disney and ABC. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. And me personally, I completely agree with everything that is said because it's truly sickening. Like I said, it's one thing about it, and I know that there's a lot of people that's, oh, don't be soft and blah, blah, blah. Those are the same people that's literally being soft about a lot of things that's being said, and it's truly crazy. It's truly crazy. Don't let nobody get up there and say anything about any type of community. They're going to get mad, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Literally just gets on my nerves. Like, you can't even say, like, I literally was watching, I think I seen something the other day, and somebody was like, it was the Boondocks. I mentioned this the other day too. It was the Boondocks, and they was like, how did they get away with this? And I was sitting there like, and I seen somebody even commenting like, this was when a lot of people didn't worry about, but this is way different. I feel like this is way different because of the things that's been happening regardless when it comes to the people on the right. And Jimmy Kimmel knows exactly what he's doing. That's the thing. Check it out right here every day.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
That was from Jimmy Kimmel's mock Correspondents' Dinner that aired 2 days before the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and it's not funny. It's never been funny. His jokes about this are not funny. Look at Melania's face. You think someone deserves that? To live in fear that her husband's going to be killed all the time? Her son is going to be without a father? And you guys encourage it? You make it mainstream? And then I think the biggest slap in the face is that you guys pretend like you don't make it mainstream, that you're not encouraging this. Bernie Sanders writes, a functioning democracy relies on the premise that people can express their political views freely without fear of being attacked or assassinated. Political violence is political cowardice. It is unacceptable in all forms, yet he sits down with Hassan Piker, who is constantly calling for political violence.
Well, and I'm going to stop it right here. I'm going to play the rest of our video. The reason I do have to stop it at that part is because the things that Hassan Piker said is truly disturbing and is very sickening. And I cannot play it regardless, me skipping it. Even if I do upload that part of what he said, then I'm sure I will have to, mark out most of the words that he's saying. And literally, y'all probably get and the mostly. I mean, everything literally that he said was pure disgusting about President Trump, not to mention all the people that are in his support. You have Ilhan Omar, you have multiple people that's, supporting what Hassan Piker got, and it's literally showing y'all everything. They don't care about Americans.
They don't make this mainstream. It's not funny. It's not funny because lunatics act on it. You're giving them permission to act on it. It's disgusting. You're all disgusting. The people that support this, disgusting. Disgusting. No place in our society. We are quite literally witnessing the erosion of civil society, and people are just openly contributing to it without understanding the consequences of what this is going to mean.
I'm telling y'all, and it's sickening. It's truly sickening. You got it right here. It says, Sage Steele blasts Disney after Kimmel called Melania an expecting widow just 48 hours after a lot of that unfolded. Check it out right here.
Sage Steele's the host of the Sage Steele Show. We used to work for ABC, Disney. Do you think they're going to do anything?
I would say it would shock me if they did based on history. I will say this, yes, almost 17 years, Jesse, working for the Walt Disney Company at ESPN, and they have a history of punishing free speech, but it depends on what the narrative is. For me, it was as simple as saying that I'm against the company mandating you to take a vaccine in order to keep your job while complying. Pulled me off the air, suspended me, took assignments, punishing me for just saying that while complying. Then you have Jimmy Kimmel, who not only mocks the death of Charlie Kirk, but continuously with the hateful rhetoric and now crossing the line, I believe, with what he said about Melania and Donald Trump the other day. So here's the thing. Will they? Who knows? Should they? Absolutely. Bob Iger is no longer the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. We know where he stood with his narratives. It was far, far, far left. Josh D'Amaro is the new CEO of the Walt Disney Company. He's been there for about 6 weeks. He has an opportunity now to reset, to say, you know what? Enough is enough. We as a network are not going to contribute to this hateful rhetoric, and he can drop the hammer now. Iger did it after Charlie Kirk, only after what? After affiliates came to him and threatened, basically. That's the only reason why Iger did it, and Jimmy was right back on the air. If you're Josh D'Amaro, this is your chance, not just to send a message to Jimmy Kimmel, but to all of the other talent, to the executives, and most importantly, to the American people to say, we are better than this. That was not a joke. It was much worse than that. Everybody knows it. It is time, and I hope the new CEO does it the right way.
Why do you think Kimmel keeps making jokes about assassinating Trump? I mean, he can joke about whatever he wants. There's a lot of material. But, you know, and about death, like of people getting shot or almost shot with Charlie. Like, why does he keep going there? Like, what do you think that's about? It's obviously not humor, because it's like not even that funny.
Right,
it's truly like it's more so that targeting. That's truly what I think. So, you know, and I ain't trying to be funny. That's truly what I think. So, you know, because he's done this plenty of times.
Let me remind me, Mom, stop. Jokes are supposed to be funny. They need to tell that to Jimmy Kimmel, because back in the day, Jesse, he was. I actually remember I was on his show in 2014 when I was still at ESPN, and he was wonderful and he was kind, and certainly we thought differently, but he was different then. Something has taken over with him and many others, and it is dark. I don't want to say evil, but it is as dark as it gets to obsess the way he has over this president. It's one thing to hate him and to disagree with his policies, et cetera. It's another thing to continuously bring up death. Again, ABC, when is enough enough? Disney, you're supposed to be about children and families and promoting positive things. Jimmy Kimmel is the opposite of that. Take a stand. Like, help us recover from this. I'm not going to hold my breath, but wouldn't it be nice to see one network really take a stand for once? Yeah, that would be interesting to see. And maybe we'll hear something about it tonight. We'll have to tune in after we watch Gutfeld. Sage Steele, good.
That's real talk. People got to fix this. I'm telling you. They definitely have to fix this. You got it right here. This is Brandon Tatum literally saying that Democrat. Hey, I think I just made up a new word. Democrats. That's what we about to start saying. Democrats. That's the Democrats. Y'all know what Democrats are? Y'all about to find out.
Chris, this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, these people are crazy and deranged. They push this stuff every day on television, in their articles, and you wonder why people are out here trying to kill President Donald Trump. I put my life on it that he would never say that about any other president, or his career would be over. Imagine him saying it about Michelle Obama, that she's looking like an expected widow. That's the most deranged thing that I ever heard in my life. And it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. It's distasteful and it's inappropriate to say, and it's disrespectful to the country. And I don't like Democrats not one bit. But if anybody were to say that, I don't care if you're Republican or not, against a Democrat president, you are wrong and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, let me go to Jojo here. I mean, I don't care what side of the divide you're on, who you vote for, whatever. I think Brandon Tatum's completely accurate when he says that simply would not have been anything that any late night comedian would have even dared to say about Michelle Obama. And there does seem to be just no rules when it comes to how the mainstream media talk about Trump. Now, they may well argue, well, he trashes us, all's fair in love and war, but actually that's not in my view, the acceptable response.
people know that when it comes down to, and that's when it brings me to say that if it was Michelle Obama, and y'all gonna correct me, I can't even say if it was Michelle Obama, because just like they just stated, they wouldn't have ever said that. If it was the other way, and somebody was to say that about, Michelle Obama, somebody that don't like Obama and a comedian, and they're saying this on the mainstream media, they saying that, man, just like that, fired that quick. And it's truly, truly sad. I'm telling y'all, truly sad. You have it right here, and Caroline Leavitt literally just goes to show you all the individuals who constantly, brings up and gives off a lot of this violent rhetoric. Check it out right here.
It's not just the media, it is the entire Democrat Party has made their pitch to voters across the country that Donald Trump poses an existential threat to democracy, that he is a fascist, and that they compare him to Hitler. I mean, these are despicable statements that the American people have been consuming for years. And so many mentally perturbed individuals are led to believe these words are truth and then are inspired to act on it. I have a whole host of examples that we can share with you after. It is pages and pages of major Democrat Party elected officials saying, such as Rep. Hakeem Jeffries just this month, said, "We are in an era of maximum warfare everywhere all the time." Governor Josh Shapiro said heads need to roll within the administration. Senator Alex Padilla said people are, quote, dying because of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration. Senator Elizabeth Warren, President Trump is making the country look like a, quote, fascist state. Senator Adam Schiff saying President Trump using a dictator playbook. Senator Ed Markey calling President Trump a dictator, saying that this administration's actions are authoritarianism on steroids. Governor J.B. Pritzker, never before in my life have I called for mass protest disruptions. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. You have Rep. Presley saying, "We'll see you in the streets." Rep. Monica McIver, a Democrat representative on Capitol Hill, "We will not take this shit from Donald Trump. He thinks he's a dictator. We are at war." These are Democrat elected officials calling for war against the President of the United States and his supporters. I could go on and on, but again, when you have people in positions of power that are saying things like this every single day for years, you are inspiring violence by people who are already mentally ill. And that's what we've seen against this president for far too long.
That's truly sickening. Truly sickening. And then you literally have... I feel like every time I look at this this picture right here, he just looks like he's just getting, like... You ever seen that movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? It's Hakeem. It literally looks like that bat is bigger than him. And he still got time to delete this. I ain't gonna lie, it's been up for a while, but he's still got time to delete it. Matter of fact, he really don't. It's gonna pop. It's everywhere now. It's over with. I watch a lot of baseball too. I truly do not see, like, a bat is, pause, but a bat is big. I'm not gonna lie, pause. But he literally looks like he has, like, little man syndrome. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about nobody, but he just looks like that. This man posted this on Instagram. Said House Democrats will keep the pressure on Trump's one big ugly bill. It just literally, it shows you. It shows you on how much of violence that they actually care for. And it's truly sickening. I mean, just look what he says here.
Recovery. Listen, I think that here in America, we can have strong disagreements, but it's important for us to agree to strongly disagree without being disagreeable with each other. And it is certainly the case that violence is never the answer, whether it's targeted at the right, the left, or the center. We have issues that we have to work out amongst each other. That's embedded in the First Amendment that was being celebrated last night. But what is also embedded in the First Amendment is the right to peacefully protest and to petition the government. Peacefully recovery.
So my thing is is that he keeps saying, and they keep always want to put in, that we're going to continue to fight and we're going to continue to do this and we're going to take it to the streets and we're going to take it here and we're going to do this and do that. And do y'all know what they say at the end? And then we're going to peacefully protest. We peacefully protest. Peacefully protest. Bro, y'all not peacefully protesting, bro. That's the thing about it. I'm telling y'all. It's sickening. It's very sickening. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love to every single last one of y'all. One thing about it is that I'm going to try my best to continue to get that truth out of there. You know, it's definitely important to. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Catch y'all next one.